Hello everyone.
Fear is one of the oldest survival tools humans possess.
Long before time had a name.
Before language or society, fear existed to keep us alive. If something went wrong, you didn't stop to analyze it, you reacted. That instinct is still deeply embedded in the human brain, quietly influences decisions every day. The difference is that modern fear rarely comes from physical danger. Instead, it comes from social pressure, uncertainty, and the constant sense that something important is happening without us. Fear begins in the brain's amygdala, a structure responsible for detecting threats. The amygdala is also the same part of your brain that causes procrastination, triggering rapid responses. The amygdala reacts faster than the conscious thought, which allows humans to survive immediate danger. When activated, it releases stress hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol, increasing heart rate, narrowing attention, and shifting the brain into survival mode. This system evolved to respond to predators and physical threats. However, it does not distinguish between physical danger and social or emotional threats. As a result, situations like rejection, exclusion, or perceived loss can activate the same fear response as genuine danger. Neuroscience has shown that fear can also be learned socially. Observing fear in others through media, social environments, or digital spaces can activate the same neural systems as direct experience. Fear spreads not just through experience, but through observation. In modern society, fear has become one of the most effective tools for capturing attention. Humans exhibit a well-documented negativity bias, meaning the brain prioritizes negative or threatening information over neutral or positive information. This bias once helped humans survive. Today, it keeps people engaged. Media outlets rely heavily on fear-based framing because it holds attention longer. Headlines emphasizing crisis, danger, or instability outperform neutral reporting, even when actual risk remains low. Over time, repeated exposure to fear-based information keeps the brain in a heightened state of alertness, making fear feel normal rather than exceptional. This low-level anxiety reduces critical thinking and increases emotional reactivity, creating ideal conditions for influence. This is where fear evolves into more specific, the fear of missing out, or FOMO for short. FOMO is not simply envy or curiosity. It is a psychological response rooted in social survival. Humans evolved in small groups where belonging was essential. Exclusion from the group meant fewer resources, less protection, and lower chances of survival. Because of this, the brain treats social exclusion as a serious threat. Research shows that FOMO is triggered by not missing experiences alone, but concern over missing shared social experiences with valued groups. Even when the missed event itself is not particularly enjoyable, the anxiety comes from fear about future social consequences, lost connection, reduced closeness, or diminished belonging. In other words, FOMO is fear of social loss, not entertainment loss. Neuroscientific research supports this interpretation. Studies using brain imaging have found that individuals with higher levels of FOMO show structural differences in brain regions associated with social cognition and self-referential thinking, particularly in the
Precuneus.
precuneus. This region involved how people evaluate themselves in relation to others. This suggests that FOMO is less about chasing pleasure and more about identity, comparison, perceived social standing. The fear is not missing an event. It is one's place within a social structure. Social media intensifies this process. Platforms are designed around constant visibility and comparison. Users exposed primarily to curated highlights, moments selected to be seen. This creates a distorted perception of reality. where others appear more successful, more connected, and more fulfilled. Research shows that FOMO mediates the relationship between social media use and psychological engagement. The more someone experiences FOMO, the more frequently they check platforms and the harder it is to disengage. Studies using neural measurements demonstrate that high FOMO individuals experience reduced inhibitory control when exposed to social media cues, meaning their ability to stop scrolling is weakened. Over time, this creates a feedback loop. Social media increases FOMO, and FOMO increases social media use. FOMO does not stop at scrolling. It influences real-world behavior, including decision-making and consumption. Consumer psychology shows that FOMO plays a central role in impulsive purchasing, limited time offers, exclusive releases, and scarcity-based marketing strategies that exploit fear of missing out to accelerate decision-making. The purchase is driven less by need and more by anxiety and about lost opportunity. This same pattern appears in gaming, streaming culture, and online trends. Limited time battle passes, exclusive content, viral shows, and trending discussions all operate on the same psychological principle. Participate now or fall behind. The fear is not missing content, it's missing relevance. FOMO has measurable effects on mental well-being. While some individuals experience increased social connection through engagement, many studies link high FOMO levels to anxiety, distraction, fatigue, and compulsive behavior. When social needs are met offline, FOMO becomes more intense online. Research suggests that perceived social support can reduce FOMO by satisfying underlying psychological needs for connection and belonging. This indicates that FOMO is not simply an individual flaw, but a response to social environments that prioritize constant comparison over meaningful connection. FOMO persists if it is subtle. FOMO persists because it is subtle. It does not feel like panic. It feels like a restlessness, a quiet sense that something important is always just out of reach. Fear once protected humans from death. Today it protects systems built on attention. Understanding does not eliminate fear. Understanding this does not eliminate fear, but it changes how much power it holds. When fear is recognized rather than blindly obeyed, it becomes a signal rather than command. Fear is the alarm system. Society learn how to press the button. FOMO is the echo that keeps on ringing long after the danger is gone. You can activate the same fear and same fear response and as genuine danger. I'm recording. Because I'm messing up. Okay.